Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with Mike Van Arsdale, and you've been working with Rashad leading into this. How's that camp been going? A lot of people, you know, there was so much talk about him leaving Greg Jackson's camp. So how did it go down there, and what kind of a team did you guys put together?
You know, what I do is I just put an individual program together for Rashad, something that works for him, and that's why I think we're going to get some great results. You can look at his body and see he's a different person. His mind, he's different. I took a page out of boxing. We're here at a boxing gym in Philly, Fight Town, right? I took a page out of boxing and trained them individually, and I think that's the way our athletes need to be trained to reach their optimum level. So many times you train in a team atmosphere as if we're on a wrestling team. It doesn't work that way. You can't get the best out of a person unless you train them and give them what they need. So what do? We go back to his base is wrestling. So over the last 2 fights, you saw him wrestling. Took down Thiago Silva 7 times, destroyed Rampage, didn't even get hit. Now we add the hands to all the footwork that he also learned at the same time, because while he was learning how to wrestle again, he was also learning boxing footwork. And he did thousands of hours of just nothing but footwork in the ring for those fights. But now we just add one thing to it, and that's knockout power. Because once you can learn to crawl, then you walk, then you build it up into a jog. Rashad is sprinting right now, and I think you're going to see unbelievable performance. I think he's the best fighter in the world right now at 205, or maybe out of everyone right now.
Well, he does look physically just amazing right now, in great shape. So we don't have any worries that, you know, this layoff's been hurting him in terms of being in shape. But mentally, going into this with the switch of fighters at the last minute, how did that affect him, and what you guys were doing?
You know what? Anytime you put some type of change on an athlete, it could have an effect on him. So, you know, I'm not blind to that. I mean, yeah, it could have an effect on him. But at the same time, he's fighting a guy who had a long layover, who just got done winning the fight and felt safe and felt comfortable, but then he threw himself back into the mix. So I think the fight that we have with Tito Ortiz is a perfect fight just because of the scenario surrounding both athletes. Rashad sitting out all these months, and then Tito Ortiz, yes, he did win a fight recently, but he wasn't really ready to come back and fight again, and I think that's going to show.
Well, interesting, but there's also a certain amount of vengeance going on here. I think both guys want to prove that the first time they're the one who really won the first fight.
You know what? That's what's under the bridge is under the bridge. That doesn't really matter right now, you know, at all. What really matters is who prepared for this fight, who's ready to go in there when they say fight, who's ready to do their best. My guy has not had any injuries. He's in great shape. I took him off the program, the hard program, 2 weeks ago, so he's excited. He can't wait to go out there and fight, you know, and that's why I really believe that it won't really matter so much after the first couple minutes. I think he'll really perform at a high level, and you'll see your best 205-pounder on the planet by the time the fight's over. You'll be like, wow, this guy's really good.
Well, it is interesting because at the end of the day, he is a professional fighter, and even though it may have been a little while, yeah, I have a feeling he knows what to do when he gets in there.
Yeah, he's going to pull the trigger. I think he will pull the trigger, and he's prepared for anything. You know what we do is we don't really put him in a box and say this is a game plan. We have several options, and then I let Rashad go out there and create. That way he can be free in his mind. He can let his body go. He doesn't have to try to do only one game plan. So he's going to be creative out there, and when you allow your athlete to be creative, they become more relaxed because they know that they don't have to follow a certain path. They just take what's in front of them. If the boxing is there, we'll take that. If he's covering his head up, we'll go to the body. If he's covering his body, we'll go to the head. If he covers his head too high and straighten his knees, we'll take him down. If he gets taken down, if his submission's there, we'll take it. If not, we'll hit him in the head. If he's comfortable down there and holding on to us, we'll stand up and make him get up. He's going to be getting hit the whole fight, Tito, so he might want to brace himself.
And last question, I've seen it on a few message boards, a few forums. People are saying that you're the next Greg Jackson. How do you feel about that?
I don't really want to be the next Greg Jackson. I just want to be Ernie Van Arsdale's son, Mike Van Arsdale. That's me. So I just want to be myself. I come from a different background than Greg Jackson came from. I probably wrestled almost 2,000 matches, and I fought 15 times in this sport. So I basically just came from that background. I've been an assistant coach at different places. I've learned a lot from other coaches coaches. Greg is one of the coaches that I have learned from. I've taken a little bit from every coach at Iowa State, Arizona State, the Olympic wrestling teams, AKA, Greg Jackson's gym, the U.S. Army, all the places that I've coached. I've taken something from every one of those gyms, and I have my own unique way of doing things, and hopefully that works for our guys, because I'd hate to be leading guys down a path to failure. But do I want to be the next Greg Jackson? Absolutely not. I just want to be myself, and I want my athletes to reach their highest heights in the sport and then leave the sport before something happens.
Nice. Well, we'll keep an eye on, exactly, on you and the Black Zillions.
Okay.
Right? Thanks
cool.
very much.
All right. Nice talking to you.
You too.
You're the girl. All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Do you mind